Welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast, strategies that help entrepreneurs build reputable and profitable brands. Here's your host, Henry Kaminski Jr.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Henry Kaminski here from UniqueDesignz.net with another Brand Doctor Podcast episode for you guys. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. I appreciate all of you guys once again for listening in and being an avid follower. I've been getting so much feedback and emails and just awesome response from you guys. So I just want to give you a huge shout out for all of you guys that are listening consistently to the Brand Doctor Podcast show and just continuing to support me and what I do, and I just appreciate all of you guys. So just wanted to get that off my chest. So let me dive in and talk to you about today's topic of conversation. And it's all about putting your own spin on things. You know, I see a disaster happening on social media, and I want to address it, and I want you guys to steer away from this as far as possible as you possibly can. And here it is, guys. The issue that's going on is people are just turning into followers, and people are just becoming just robots and zombies out there, and they all are just following other people, and everybody's looking the same. There's no uniqueness to people's brands anymore. It's like everybody's trying to go this cookie cutter route, and I don't know why, because they're doing themselves such a disservice. And so I was thinking about this, like, how have I put my spin on how I teach branding to my clients and how I level up my clients' brands? And so I have a bunch of competitors out there because I'm not the only one in town that does brand development. And I notice how some of them all take their stake and they plant it in the ground and they position themselves as a brand coach or a brand expert, and they all have their individual sort of characteristics, right? Or positioning that they use. So there's a guy out there who says, brand your business like a Fortune 500 company. That's great if you want your brand to look like a Fortune 500 company. I understand where he's coming from. He worked for a Fortune 500 company, and he worked his ranks up through an ad agency, and then basically went on his own and did his own thing. You know, there's a couple other people out there that use story to help people build brands and help clients build great stories to sell more of their product or service. You know, when I was thinking about, well, what's my stake? Like, what's my positioning in this? And so I thought about it and I said, well, how did I come up in the ranks? How did I start this business and get it to the $1 million mark? And it was just from being authentic. Like when people ask about me, right? And they always say, well, that guy is just the real deal. And when I ask clients, you know, why did you hire me? They're like, well, dude, because you're like the real deal. You don't really sugarcoat anything. You say it how it is, and that's what I'm looking for, and that's why I chose you. And so I position branding from a different perspective than my competitors. I look at it as, if you're not being authentic with your brand from top to bottom, you're done. You're done. You don't have a brand. And so that's how I've built my business, just from being 1,000% more authentic than my competition. You know, I'm so freaking honest. Sometimes I lose business, but you know what? It is what it is. I'd rather be honest and true than sugarcoat something and do you a disservice. That's the bottom line. And I've learned through the years, because you guys all know my backstory. You know, I was quite the prick back in the day. you know? And I don't know if that was just my insecurities getting the best of me. I don't know if it was just me being just plain old immature and not knowing what to do with a whole bunch of money and spending it frivolously and letting it get to my head and all of that stuff. But when I wasn't being authentic, that's when I ran into a lot of problems and a lot of issues. And somebody just, it was a coach a few years back that basically said to me, listen, Henry, there's a reason why you're losing, because you're not being authentic. You're not putting your own spin on it. And so I want to encourage you guys, listen, success leaves clues. I get that. And the pioneer is the one with all the arrows in his back. I get that. But if you're not putting your own spin on things and creating something that's unique, you're just looking like everyone else. And there's a reason why I named my business Unique Designz. There's a reason. Because my designs are unique. I design unique brands for people. I don't want you to look like everybody else. I'm doing you a disservice if I take your website and make it look like someone else's. If I take your logo and make it look like somebody else's. If I take your story and your messaging and your positioning and the way you attract clients and the way you generate leads and make them all look like someone else, I'm doing you a huge disservice. So I want you guys to step it up this week. And I want you to go out there and evaluate your competition. I want you to ponder, what can I do differently? The structure's here, but what can I do to make it mine? What spin could I put on it to make it mine and make it truly authentic to what it is that I do? I really want you to think about that. I really do, because that's what's going to help you stand out. That's it. So there's a tremendous amount of advantage is the word that I'm looking for. If you just take that extra 10 or 15 minutes a day, right, and put yourself out there and take it all in, and then ask yourself, all right, it's time to put my spin on this. How do I make it mine? Stop with the rinse and repeat, or the cookie cutter looks, just because it's quick and easy, just because somebody else is doing it. That's great. That's a good thing that somebody else is doing it. That means there's a market for it. However, if you're out there sounding the same, looking the same, you're just noise. You're just noise. And that's not how you build brand. That's not how you build a business. Over the past couple of weeks, I've really taken the gloves off. A lot of you guys are on my email list, and if you're not, go to uniquedesignz.net and go to toolkits and subscribe to one of the toolkits, and you will start getting my emails on a daily basis. But over the past couple of weeks, I've taken my gloves off, and I've really showcased me sort of at its rawest form, ROW, my New Jersey accent's kicking in. And I've been getting a tremendous amount of like props and shouts and just response to this style. And I should have done this a long time ago. And I'm starting to bring it out now on social media. And I don't know what it was. I'll be honest with you. As real deal and as upfront and as blunt as I am sometimes, there's some part of me that kind of just like hides sometimes, right? And you're like, why? So when I took the gloves off and I started to put my spin on things, And I really started to be my true self, like my true self, like 7 layers deep true. People started to respect it. People started to become attracted to it and intrigued by it, and they wanted to know more. I started to stand out more. And that's what happens when you feel comfortable in your own skin. So stop you call it modeling, I call it stealing, I call it copycatting, right? Get out there and model the success that you want to become, but put your own spin on it, guys. I will promise you, people will appreciate you so much more for the authenticity and the uniqueness of how you put it together. I'm rolling out a new version of the Branding on Demand program. I've been spending a lot of time and energy with my team on really reinforcing the infrastructure of my business and really making my programs just so unique, so awesome, such an experience, right? It's like no other. And I'm rolling out the Branding on Demand program 4.0 slowly to my current members, and they are absolutely loving it. Why? Because it's almost like the Birchbox of branding, right? And I'll just leave it with that because it's so unique, it's so different, right? And they're just eating it up. And I was like, okay, I like the concept of Birchbox, right? But how can I infuse that into branding and into my programs? And I figured out a way, and I just went with it and did it. And now people are loving it. So that's what I'm talking about putting your own spin on it and making it yours, making it truly authentic, and just being you. I can't stress that enough, guys. So listen, let me roll. Have an amazing day. Implement, starting today, putting your spin on things and not just copycatting everything. And I will promise you, you will see a tremendous change in the way people engage with you and your brand. So I'm out, guys. A couple housekeeping things like usual. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, to this podcast yet, I highly advise that you do. If you haven't yet shared it with a friend or colleague, please do. If this information could help them build their brands, that's all I'm asking. Share this information. Don't be stingy with it. And then last but not least, if you haven't joined the Brand Doctors Hangout Facebook group on Facebook, go check it out. Just go to Facebook, go to the search query, type in Brand Doctors Hangout, join the group. I'll let you right in. There's about 260 of us in there right now that are all helping each other. We're all like-minded entrepreneurs that are all trying to help each other go through this entrepreneurial journey together. And just a tremendous amount of talent, a tremendous amount of energy, and you'll be able to catch more of me live, and I will be providing as much value as I possibly can for all the members. I just dropped some really cool stuff in there. Now you can get wallpapers and stuff for your phone in there now as a member. So go check it out. So have an awesome day, guys, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.
You've been listening to the Brand Doctor Podcast with Henry Kaminski Jr. To get your appointment with the doctor, visit Brand Audit at www.uniquedesignz.net.